Welcome to week 6 of Better You in 52. And remember, this is not necessarily meant to be a step by step, week by week journey. The journey is just taking a years over time, 52 weeks, and acknowledging that you want to be better and taking a tip every single week that we give out to you to work better. And it's not necessarily, once again, a New Year's resolution that must start on January the 1st, although that's basically when we started the videos on the 31st going into the year. But any moment you decide you want to be better, you're better. So take some time to work on it. And your limit is not to stretch it out to 52 weeks as well. Just take these tips as you need them. We're doing a tip every week for 2024 to help you out and improve your work towards being better. So we're hoping that these tips are working well with you. Now, this week, it's an interesting one. This is one that doesn't seem like it's going to directly affect you, but guess what? It affects you much more than you think it is. And we are going to talk about, for week 6, showing support for others chasing their dreams. Why is this even a thing? Why is this a big deal? We're talking about better you, or in my case, better me, for 52 weeks. Why do we care about other people? Because other people are important. The reason why you're trying to be better, hopefully, is for other people. Now, if you want six pack abs to look in the mirror and stare at yourself and say, damn, I got six pack abs, that's okay. That's great. Pretty vain, but hopefully you want to show them off to other people and you want to be vain for other people, which is not a problem, but you want to do it to be a part of a crowd, do something going forward. We're hoping you're using your powers for good and not so much for evil or just vanity, and you want to be a better person because you want to contribute more in some way going forward. You want to work on being better at business so you have more money in your business so your business can grow, so you have more money for your family, for your friends, or maybe just for yourself. Trickle down economics and work in that way if you want to be selfish on that level. But here's something that's important. As you are growing and you are just getting better and rising up in your life, all the people around you still exist. And one of the really important factors about people who are looking for personal improvement is they end up losing out on some of the connections they already have. Some of this is dealing with people who don't know how to move with you and are jealous of your movement and don't want to go anywhere at all. We'll talk about that in a different lesson. Trust me, we'll talk about it in various different ways in different lessons. Today, we're talking about what happens if maybe you're that guy that is not quite moving along with someone as they are progressing because you don't understand what they're doing. You don't get them in their dream. If you get them, and maybe even not their dream, guess what? You should support their dream as well. As long as they're not doing anything that's going to rule the world with an iron fist, then their dream is probably valid to a lot more people than just this them as a silly thing to progress through. And if it's just a silly little thing in the moment that they're progressing through, let them live out their life, let them do the things for right now. But for this week, we're talking about showing support for other people who are chasing their dreams as you are chasing your hopes and dreams as well. Because support is what we need. That's why we offer support. I will chat with people. There's people in the program at the website Your Better You. I'm sorry, Better You in 52 at .info. That's the one. I hope it's the right one. And it will allow you to see what we're doing and see how we're connecting, helping folks get through. Sometimes you just need somebody to chat it up and talk about. Sometimes you need someone to explain your dream out loud. So when you hear the words out loud, you hear whether it's a good dream or not. Sometimes you need other people to evaluate whether your dream is good or not. In most cases, most people won't say, yeah, that's terrible. They'll say, oh, that sounds good, but what about these things here that you may not have thought about in your dreamy sense that's going out there? So this should be simple. This should actually be fairly short, but we have 5 tips to give to you. So let's go ahead and get into the tips right now because it's all about support. It's all about support. And we suggest that when you have other people who are trying to do their dreams, get their improvement, be their better thems in 52, ask them about their successes and their struggles. This is technically 2 things, but ask them about what's going on, what their dream is, what's going right, and what's going wrong. Be a shoulder to cry on. Be a sounding board for them to listen to. Be someone to judge, but not be judgmental in what they're doing. Because if they can tell you what's going right, what's going wrong, they themselves can evaluate how well their dreams are working and whether they are valid and worth working on. Remember, a few weeks back, we talked about making sure that the dream, the goal you're pushing through, is actually valid. And if you start working on it and realize in the middle of the work it's not actually valid, Just work on something else. Same for other people. In the graphic image we're using for the teaser image, it's a singer with a person in the background cheering them on and clapping going forward. Maybe the person singing will find that the life of a singer is a bit more treacherous than she thinks it would be and doesn't want to do that full time. And that is fine. But she has to follow the dream to a point where she finds out the dream doesn't work going forward. Maybe she just doesn't have the right talent to go all the way forward. That is fine. Trust me, I've been there way too many times, but you don't know till you don't know. And if people aren't back there pushing you to say, give it a shot, we love you anyway. If something doesn't work out, we'll figure something else out. It's there. So talk to people about their goals, their dreams, what they're working for to improve on, and how they're doing well in them, how they're bringing great success to what's going forward, how they're doing not so well, how just things just are just getting in the way and keeping things going through. And maybe in the process of a conversation, they'll figure it out on their own. Maybe you'll offer up some suggestions going back and forth. But being a sounding board to anyone working on anything is the most awesome thing you can do. We still have four other things as well, so don't think you're off the hook just by listening to them. You're going to have to actually put some effort into the work and go to a show and buy a ticket for a show you can't go to. Show is a nebulous term because I use this for example for I have a lot of people who are doing things in various entertainment industries and I go to shows to support them. And when I can't go to shows, every so often, I just send them some money. I cash out them money for a ticket and say, buy a ticket for this show or hold on to it as if someone bought a ticket for the show. This is my support. I can't make it this week. I got something else going on. This is me showing you that you need to keep going on. If no one shows up, I bought a ticket, so I would have been there if it weren't for something going forward. And when I can, when it's not past my bedtime, I just show up and sit there and enjoy the show. Or listen to the podcast. Or read the article of their book. Or listen to the seminar. Or you get the point. Whatever there is they're doing, no matter how boring and nondescript it is, if you love them, show them the love and go to it. Even if you don't really understand it, even if you don't really like it per se. If you like them and they're not doing anything, they're not Skeletor and planning for global domination, then what's the harm, what's the foul, other than some time? And as I said, if you can't make the time by buying a ticket for someone else who could not make the time. That way, you're showing them love and support for what they're doing. And like I said, I don't do a lot of shows, but I have a lot of podcasts, a lot of things going on there, and I ask people to check it out. And people, when they have time to, they check it out. I don't expect it, and we'll get back to those in a moment. I don't expect anyone to just go out and just download my thing 10 times just for doing it, or buy a book 10 20 copies because it will get me on the bestseller list. But I expect some people to know who I've talked about my dreams, what I'm working towards, to give me support and go to a show, even air quotes, whatever the show is. Even if it's just this thing right here. There's plenty of people who don't necessarily need Better You in 52, but are watching videos and keep themselves out of the way just to see how well it's going. And they also, for the most part, give me updates, give me feedback to see how well I'm doing so I can see I get more effective going forward. And with that, share with a friend. Tell other people who might enjoy what they're doing, and ask them if they want to go do it. If you know folks that love music and you have a friend who's a great musician, playing in clubs here, there, back and forth, just to have some fun at it and make some extra change on it and extend their music career because they couldn't quite make it on the next level, take some friends to the next gig. Tell some friends about it. Let them just show up on their own and just sit in the audience as people that you don't expect. A few more people that aren't there that you didn't expect to be there. Maybe they'll become fans and start following them along and want to enjoy in the pleasures of what they're doing. Maybe they want to be friends with them and will really be there so they can discuss struggles and pains and successes with them for more feedback. But the most important thing is more listeners, more people at the show, more subscribers to the podcast, more people reading the book, more people helping out in the early stages to show social proof that they're a little better than maybe people think, because sometimes people are looking for clicks, looking for viewers, looking to see that people went to shows, looking for money they brought into clubs to bring them in for more stuff. This is what you see when you tell other people that might enjoy it. They show up and they actually do enjoy it. Now, you're not doing it to get anything back. And this is where it gets a little hard. This one and the next one are related, but they really are the heart of what you're doing. You're showing support for people and their dreams, but you're not doing it to get a quid pro quo. You're not doing it to get something back. Here's a personal example. Here's me. If I meet somebody who I think is doing awesome stuff, I will do what I can to support their stuff. And it will be following their feeds on social media and clicking likes, watching what they're doing and going with it. If they produce things, like they produce speeches, they produce documentation, they produce videos, I'll watch what I can. All the things I've said before are things that I do, but what I'm not looking for is like for like, sub for sub, them to click on things on their own. If they are people I consider friends and friendly with, they'll probably do some stuff on their own. Or they're probably following my journey as it is. And through their busy lives, they're doing what they can to go back and forth. But this is not necessarily because I need more viewers for my podcast. I'm going to go all of my friends' stuff and click their links on their podcast and show and tell them, hey, I watched your stuff. When are you going to watch mine? It's not about getting something for something. It's about giving something to someone who needs the love and support. So, if you're just looking to get something back from it, then you're not really supporting the person. And you should find a way to break off that relationship, break it down easily. Or if they don't technically know you, you're not friendly with them, just stop doing it. Don't go if you don't want to go. And don't go because you think they're going to go for you. Chances are they will do more things for you, but it's not a one for one. It's not a This support is not payment, prepayment, post payment for support for you. The support is meant to be support for them. So do it for the love. Don't do it for the reciprocity. And with that, if reciprocity does happen, make sure you don't reject it. Now, here's the thing about the law of reciprocity. When you do stuff for people, they feel obligated to do something for you, which is why a lot of people will fight tooth and nail to not have people do things for them, or will fight to make sure they don't owe anybody any favors. And that's the problem. You don't owe anybody any favors for what they do, but don't reject the reciprocity that you get for doing what you do for other folks. People will more than likely want to support you in some way. Don't blow it off and try to be humble about it because you know you want it. You know you need a little help and support going forward. And so you are doing things for people because you hope other people will support you, not they will directly support you. So whatever reciprocity comes from that, if they show up at your shows, they click your links, they bring people that are like-minded to your opportunity so that they can grow that as well, that is great. Don't reject it. Don't push it away. Don't be such a stuck up person that's going to say, oh no, it's not for that. Because it is for that. You do want that. Trust me. When I do something for other people, I would like it to come back to me. I would love it if they would love to give to me. But if it's just sort of a secondhand reciprocity, they send someone else looking for something to do. One of my good friends is a comedian and she's really hot right now locally. And so because comedians work really late and I work very long hours, I'm not really up to doing seeing many of her shows. But when something pops up, a special edition, and I know someone looking for something to do, I pretty much sell a few people. Hey, why don't you go to the club this night? One of my friends is performing. She's great. You know her from this. You will love it. That's the best I can do sometimes. That's my reciprocity for things she's done support me. It's not necessarily me showing up, but me doing more to push her to other people. And then sometimes it's the best I can do. Sometimes there's not much I can do. And sometimes there's not much other people can do to show their support. But if they do, don't reject the reciprocity. I'm going to go into a quick little story about some of my more famous than I friends, people who do more active stuff. It's kind of hard to get people to follow along in better productivity programs or podcasts on business stuff because it seems like it's pretty abstract to most people. Although it hits on more levels with people that I'm familiar with, friends with, than sometimes I even believe. But there's someone out there in your friend group that is doing something that is maybe kind of small. I once worked with a person in radio who looked for a hobby, and she started doing artwork. She started doing paintings, and they were beautiful paintings. They were great paintings. A lot of folks would look at them and say, "You should probably put these in some local gallery or maybe sell a couple of them." She didn't because the work she put into them were personal. They were all personal things, but they were good. They were really good. And every so often, she'd bring one in or show us a picture in the newsroom, and we'd kind of, pal around on her phone and look at it and, give the praise we could. She wouldn't let us buy them from her. She wouldn't let us work for the gallery's folks or whatever. She wouldn't let us promote her at all. What she wanted was, here's the thing I did. What do you think? We told her what we thought, and it was there. For her, that was awesome. For my comedian friends, and I have a handful of them, they need people at their shows. They need people to put money in the coffers at the businesses so they can keep showing up at those shows. They need people to show up and laugh and giggle and sigh and just snort on camera in their social media as they're doing shows so they can show bigger venues they are funny and move forward. What they need is what they need. Sometimes they just want some advice. Sometimes they just want to talk about a success or a small little struggle. Sometimes they're looking for a loan because it happens and they need to float something to put on a show and it came up a little short so they can get it through and to kind of process through. But there are people out there who are chasing dreams that you have resources and energy to give up to. I'm not saying just throw money blindly at some very crazy idea, but if it looks valid and they're not trying to take over the world, give them some support. 5 steps that we had for today. First one, fairly simple. Ask them about their successes and struggles. Acknowledge that they're doing a thing and let them talk about it. It may get long and may drawn out and may get a little boring, but the fact that you give in to people and what they think about their boring little side hobby, that's you think is boring, they obviously don't think it's boring, shows that you love and care for them. While you're listening to them talk about what's going on, see for yourself. See how well they're putting it to work by going to a show and doing something to see them perform, do their art. Or buy a ticket for something that you can't go to show support for. That one seat that didn't get filled to make it a full house, you just filled it. You paid for the ticket. Maybe the person didn't show up, but the ticket sold, and that's what counts. And this applies to anything that you can call a show. I do podcasts and videos, so people who want to support me, watch a video or click a link, a like on something that's out there, or read an article I have because that's them showing their support going to a show for what I have going on. I do have some speeches and stuff like that, but it's mostly to like for classroom stuff, so it's not really a show. But hey, you can come and sit in class one day and watch them do a speech. You can also tell other people who might want to sit in my class and actually take my class and enjoy it, or read one of my articles, or watch my videos, or check out my comedian friends, or check out the artwork from other people out there and see what's going on. Tell other people who enjoy living in the world they live in that they exist. They might go see them. They might become fans. They might become patrons of them and help them out. That might be bigger than showing them support because these are people who actually know what they're talking about, if you will. These next two are about being selfless and not fake humble. Don't do it for quid pro quo because you're part of this program. You're watching this video because you're trying to improve on something and you can probably use some help with it. But don't help other people, whether they're working on personal development or they're trying to be the next big Hollywood star and need someone to read lines with them because you expect them to do something specific and maybe even larger than what you did for them to help you out. Don't do it for quid pro quo. Do it for pure love and support because it's not about getting something back. It's about building them up and see what happens. They will probably want to help you out. And with that in mind, make sure you are not going to be fake humble and reject reciprocity, however form it comes, whether it's directly from the people you're helping out or in sort of a side sort of way. If people, a person shows up at a show that you don't know and they offer up some assistance, as long as it's not malicious, don't reject reciprocity. Congratulations for making your own journey for personal development or goal setting or chasing that dream and trying to do it now, whenever you're watching this video in the future, past January, February, March of 2024, whenever this video pops up in your internal chip, whatever we have in the future. Congratulations. You know you're trying to do better things, do whatever, so you know other people are out there doing the same thing and they need your support like you need support from them. Anyone out there. Support those folks doing their thing, making their dreams come true, trying their best, because the hard truth is most of us won't see the progress, won't see the process, won't make it to the mountaintop. That's basically promised to all of us. We can get really close, we can find personal wins, but we can't all be the title champ at the same time. And we can't all be title champ because some of us don't have that talent, but it doesn't mean we can't keep competing. I was never going to make professional level basketball, but I can still go shoot around at the gym with my boys every so often. It's that simple. Same thing for the folks trying to do their thing. You don't know how far they're going to go, but they can go a whole lot farther if you support them and aren't selfish just to throw things at them because you're looking for some help on your thing. It's that simple. Support other people working on their goals, chasing their dreams, doing their thing because it's how we all work well better as humans. And as humans, I implore you to check out my website, betteryouin52.info. Check it out because we have the replays of these videos and other tools and tips for you to work better towards your improvement. Now, this is not a full 52-week program where you got to go step by step by step, week by week by week, starting at the beginning, going forward. We're just offering up a simple tool every single week for you to think about, throw into your toolbox and use, just like this one. This week, think about other people in the process and help them out because the actual lesson from this is helping other people out will help you in the process kind of figure your things out. That's the real thing you should get from this one. In the meantime, go to our website, as I said, betteryouin52.info, see some replays. Follow us on our YouTube channel so you can get the videos in your thing. Make sure you hit subscribe so that it pops up in your feed for your subscriptions. Like it so other people can see what we're doing in this journey, and be a good guy. Be a good gal. Do what you're doing. Keep on going. I have love and faith in you. Email me at jclevelandpayne@gmail.com. Just want to chat about this. Put the Better You in 52 and even the week that you watched so we know what we're chatting up about. And let me know what you need. I'll do what I can to assist you in yours. And if you want to assist me in mine, hey, you're watching this. You're emailing this. You're letting me into your life. Trust me, that's a lot. We're going to do this again next week. So week 7 of 52 coming down. Make sure you're with us.